Hi, welcome back. Are you anxious about what might happen with your family gathering during the holidays? Well, the holidays can be extremely stressful, and on top of all the stuff that you need to get done, there's great potential for family drama, especially during this interesting time and difficult time of the pandemic. If you're worried and you need some tips, this is the video for you, because in this video you're going to learn 5 tips on how to manage the challenge of family during the holidays during the pandemic. Hi, I'm Marie Morin. I'm a therapist and a wellness coach, and I help busy professional women overcome limiting beliefs and self-critical talk so that they could finally step into their most aligned, confident self. Let's get started. So here are 5 tips on how to manage the holiday challenges with family during the pandemic. So the idea here is that if there's conflict, because let's face it, people are extremely tuned into a lot of stressful things and feeling a bit unhinged. So you might be feeling it, they might be feeling it, and shit might happen, okay? So what happens if it hits the wall? All right, first off, the idea is that the conflict is what needs to be resolved. You don't have to win the argument. And that's kind of what happens in families, that somebody wants to win. And I am kind of an expert on that because I came from a family that we all wanted to win, and me just as much as everybody else. And if that person wasn't going to let me win, it wasn't going to be good. Tip number 1 is to calm down. So a great way to calm down is to try something called relaxing breath, or the 4-7-8 method. And all that is really is just to inhale and exhale through the nose to the count of 4. And it goes like this. You inhale to the count of 4, you hold for 7, and you exhale to the count of 8. Do that like 3 times, 4 times if you need it. You'll notice that you're going to calm down. Tip number 2, separate the problem from that person that might be agitated. Let's say it's your Uncle Dave, okay? And Uncle Dave is doing his usual Uncle Dave thing. He's a very passionate person, or he's a very opinionated person, and he has something to say. Or maybe it's Aunt Sally. It could be anybody, whoever that person is that is typically a little bit argumentative and very opinionated or whatever. It's not them, it's the problem, and the problem is the conflict. Tip number 3, remember that that person that's a little bit difficult and being very opinionated does not have to agree with you, okay? Because that's what happens. We don't need to agree. And if we can get that through our heads when things get a little heated, that it's not about making the other person agree or think you're right, you just want to resolve the conflict so you can go back to being a family where you're getting along, okay? So remember, the other person does not need to agree with you. Okay, tip number 4, be respectful. So remember the adage, do unto others as you would have them do to you. Well, here's the real secret in conflict. Be respectful. Treat them the way you would want to be treated. Have you ever noticed that when you get agitated, someone is always trying to interrupt you and change your mind? Well, that's because they're not listening. They're too busy talking. So you do the listening. Do more listening than talking, and validate. So being respectful means that you listen, and then you find where you could say, I can see your point. I hear what you're saying. That doesn't mean you agree. It just means that you're offering them a safe place to be able to speak without somebody shutting them down. Isn't it aggravating when someone tries to shut us down all the time for our strong opinions? I think it is. Tip number 5. Okay, you've heard this before, but I'm going to say it. Agree to disagree. offer that into the context of the conflict. It's okay, guys. We don't have to agree. After all, we're family. We can do this. Let's find a way to just move on to something else. We can agree to disagree. And that really is the idea of resolving conflict. You don't have to win. No one has to be right. Nobody has to agree with the other person. It's about being respectful and agreeing to disagree. So I hope that this has been a help to you. If it has, hit the like and subscribe if you like the content, and leave me a message. Let me know what you think about this video and what your experience with family drama has been. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Happy holidays.